Hello followers, my name is Mr. M. Fretwell and welcome back to my tutorial series. This is episode 35 and in today's episode we're heading back to the Nether and we're going to check out Nether fortresses. So as I explained in the last episode, I actually did locate one. I've marked it with some small beacons in the Nether, and what we're going to do is we're going to head over there today and then we are going to try and get some of the required materials that we need for brewing, which we're going to be doing in a couple of episodes time. So we need nether warp, which is probably one of the main things we want to get. We want to get some blaze rods and maybe some magma cream. So while we head over there, I just want to explain to you what I've been doing off camera. Between this and the last episode, I actually spent a lot of time off camera caving. So I actually went on a big caving trip, not in the Nether. This was in the overworld. I went caving and I noticed that I was running low on a lot of resources, so I've been and got a bunch of them ready for future tutorials which will be coming soon. So I just wanted to explain that, so if you're on the world download you're not wondering what's going on with lots of diamonds all of a sudden appearing. I have 41 now. So I marked these. I'm just walking over here now. I did actually make a tunnel across. I wanted to make this as fast as possible to get there so that I could spend the majority of the episode explaining about the actual fortresses. So this stuff right here is soul sand that I was talking about in the Nether episode. Hello! Look at that, we got another ingredient, and that is a gas tier. From killing a ghast you can get gas tiers, and we got one. So we can use that in brewing to make regeneration potions, and I'll get to all that. But this is the main reason we're heading to the Nether Fortress now, is basically because it contains a lot of ingredients that we need from different mobs. Now, Nether Fortresses are home to some unique nasties. There are some mobs here that are very, very nasty. I've got another gas shooting at me. See if I can kill this ghast. He keeps moving. There we go. Did you drop a gas tier? Maybe you did. Doesn't look like it this time. Gas also do drop gunpowder, by the way, so you can get a slow, steady source of gunpowder that way, but I think creepers are a bit easier to kill, to be honest. So this right here is a nether fortress. So they're kind of like these long tunnel-like things. They can go into the netherrack, but they don't always do so. And as I was explaining just before I was being shot at by that ghast, that this can be home to quite some unique nasties. There are some blazes here, and I will get to those, and there are also wither skeletons about. So we have to be on guard for those kind of things because they can deal a lot of damage, and we aren't really prepared yet. But we have to go here once unprepared to get prepared for future trips here. So this guy over here is a magma cube that I was talking about a few episodes ago. Now this guy has the potential to drop some magma cream, which we've just got right now. So this is a successful trip so far. Lighting the fortresses up will disable spawning of wither skeletons and normal skeletons, but not blazers and magma cubes. So this has actually got different mobs to the main nether. The main mobs here are obviously, as I said, blazers and wither skeletons, though there is a chance that normal skeletons can spawn here as well, the ones that you see in the overworld, and pigmen can kind of wander around into the fortresses, but they don't spawn here naturally, and neither do ghasts. But you often see them around because they kind of walk into this place. So that's that, really. Magma cubes that I was talking about have a higher chance to spawn in these fortresses as well, so if you're looking to try and get some magma cream, then this is probably a better place to go. I could see a wither skeleton off there in the distance, so we're going to avoid him for right now. So nether fortresses always spawn along the Z axis, and you can take a look at the Z axis by pressing the F3 button on your keyboard, and for me this is the Z axis is this way, so they will always spawn along the Z axis. So if I went along that way and I kept going in that direction, the chances of me finding another one are very high. So that's something to take into consideration. They seem to spawn along the Z axis. So yeah, so in this episode I want to try and find a blaze and explain how to deal with them. and we will also look at wither skellies as well. One thing to note with these fortresses is that the corridors will never ever get blocked unless there is glowstone in the way. It cuts right through the netherrack, so you don't have to do any digging. There's a blaze right now, it just spawned right there. So this is a blaze, and if you go within range of a blaze, it will shoot at you. And that... oh, I'm gassed. I would like to kind of get him out the way, but... so a bunch of them have spawned in now. You can see some pigmen over there. So this is a blaze. If you go within range, he will light on fire. Now he's seen us. He's going to shoot 3 fireballs at us, like that. So you have to avoid them and pick him off. Now the best way to do that is with ranged combat. So the bow. So just shoot at him, and he has the potential to drop a blaze rod. Unfortunately, he dropped it over the side. So that's going to be kind of difficult. Is that ghast still around? Oh dear. But so we're going to have to just keep hunting until we find one. There is a wither skeleton over here, so why don't we talk about those? So wither skeletons are skeletons basically that wield swords. And these guys will run at you and they will give you the wither effect if they hit you. And the wither effect is a bit like poison if you've been poisoned. We haven't done mine shafts yet, but it's basically like poison. It slows you down, it stops you from sprinting properly, and it can kill you. Unlike poison, which will bring you down to half a heart, wither will kill you. And these guys deal a lot of damage. I believe they deal 5 hearts on the normal difficulty. So you can pick these out with range, or you can hit them with a sword. Just like this, and you can kill them. And these guys drop bones, coal, and occasionally really a wither skeleton skull, which is used in another crafting recipe to make the wither boss. And the ultimate goal with making the wither boss, to get a beacon. Be quiet. Alright, so we need to track down some blazes. In nether fortresses you do get naturally some natural blaze spawners. And we can actually farm these. I'm so worried about hitting a pigman. There we go. So you can actually find blaze spawners, and people make them into farms to harvest blaze rods because it's hard to get them naturally. And we will probably do that in a future tutorial, but right now we will not be doing that. We might do that in a future episode, I will imagine. So it does appear that I was wrong initially. Pigmen do spawn here. You can see a blaze spawner just over there. You can see it in the distance between those 2 bits of lava. That is a blaze spawner. When you have not covered monster spawners yet, that again will come in time. And we will look at those in the future too. So this does connect. There's another blaze spawner right there. There's sort of like a hole right here, but there's a blaze spawner right out in the open. So, here's a blaze. Let's see if we can lure him towards us. They don't have a habit of sort of coming towards you. He's going to start shooting at us. Where's he gone? Have I missed him? I would like to get one before. But let's head down. There's some blazes and a wither skelly right here. So let's get the wither skeleton out of the way. And I'm going to attempt to shoot this blaze. Now I've only got a finite amount of arrows, so I've got to kind of make them count. Now he's seen us, he's going to shoot the 3 fireballs. We've missed them. If they do, in the event, hit you, they have the potential, obviously, to set you on fire, which can be kind of annoying. Like that. And now we've got this guy on us. And as with all nether mobs, they are not affected by fire. There we are. Did one of these guys drop a blaze rod? No, of course not. So we're also on the lookout for nether wart. And nether wart is a grown resource. It doesn't come from a mob. And they are found in like these little mini farms in the fortresses. So we're also looking out for one of them. And I might have to cut the camera until we find one. My inclination is there's probably one in there. But I would like to try and find another way to it. And I did bring some wood so I can make a few more torches. I didn't want to bring too many resources just in case I end up happening to croak while I'm here. I didn't want to waste all my stuff. So let's head back up to the top again. And let's head in this direction where the they don't have very good pathfinding, do they? 2 hits with one of these guys should be enough. They can't seem to work out where to go, which is rather strange because all they have to do is kind of walk round. Now then, hopefully one of these guys is going to drop us a blaze rod. So range combat for blazes is something I always recommend. Ah, here we go. Blaze rod. So that is a blaze rod. Blaze rod. And we need to use this in the crafting recipe for strength potions, fire resistance potions, and also the brewing stand itself requires this. So it's always worth grabbing blaze rods where you can, because they are really, really useful. They're one of the most valuable resources in the game in terms of brewing. So that's why many people farm them. Here we are. Oops. We've got another one, even better. So now all we need really is some nether wart. So we need to try and locate a source of that. So my inclination is that if we head over here we might find something. And I've got to be so careful above this. I'm going to use actual building blocks here, where the skeletons seem to be just having their tea party there, alright, without me having to disturb them. So this is the nether brick that we looked at in the last episode. And this nether brick is actually naturally found in, obviously, fortresses, and you can actually mine this stuff if you wanted to. I just think it's nicer to make it using the nether brick, not only to show it off in a tutorial, but also to show you that not to destroy the historical buildings. Ah, here's some nether wart. There is a staircase there. Yeah, they are found at the bottom of staircases in the fortresses. So let's grab that. Did he drop one? Nope. There's another one in this area, but I'm just going to grab it. You can use any tool for this, or even your fist, or just a block. I know it's not fully grown yet. We'll get into nether wart farms in a couple of episodes' time. But let's pick this up. Nether wart grows on soul sand, so we're going to need some of that too. Just going to pop down this block. And I'm going to get all of it here. So the fully grown plants will quickly, I'll say, will drop 3. The not fully grown ones will only drop 1. Here we are. Alright, so that's all the resources we actually need from this fortress. We don't need any more resources. So what I'm going to do now is head back to the overworld. Now we've explained a bit about these fortresses, there's not a whole lot more to say. In terms of blazes, another reason why people farm them is they actually drop more XP than most other mobs. They drop 12 instead of the regular 8 that other mobs drop. We will look at with the skeletons in more detail when we go and find and fight the Wither boss. No more, but okay. So we'll look at those more and we'll get some of their skulls. I will probably show that off in their own episode when we do a bit more in depth about them. This was designed to give you an overview of fortresses and the many mobs that inhabit these fortresses. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back towards the portal, and then from there we'll go back to the overworld. So yeah, that pretty much covers fortresses. There's not a whole lot in them, just the mobs for their resources. There's not a whole lot more there. But as I say, they are very useful places. We will probably build a blaze farm in a future episode, no doubt. And I also need to get an infinity bow and more arrows. Did he drop one? Always looking for some gas tears. It's right above me. Not this time, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, let's head back to the portal now. So yeah, that pretty much covers Nether Fortresses, as I've said. So we've got the blaze rods that we need now for the brewing stand, which we are going to craft in a couple of episodes' time. Oops. And also for the blaze powder, which we can craft from this, which is used in potion brewing. So no doubt I'll probably head back to the fortress more off camera and gather different little bits and pieces that we might need from it, which we will use in the brewing episode. But there will be nothing more that I will get from the fortress that we haven't already got in today's episode. I'm just going to carve my way back up here. Here's the portal. So it's not really that far. So yeah, that's that. In this episode I've explained a bit more about how to combat all these different mobs. We will get more, as I say, into the wither skeletons, because they kind of deserve an episode in their own right, because they are part of a separate kind of quest. We were really looking for brewing ingredients today more than anything else. So yeah. Also, I meant to say that, and I just slipped my mind at the time, but wither skeletons also occasionally can drop their stone swords, but they're usually pretty beaten up, so they're not kind of really worth it. But you never know, you might find some use out of them maybe. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode today, guys. I hope that you found it useful and entertaining and informative and all that kind of jazz. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Next time, we will be building the brewery, which is going to be right here, just the other side of the blacksmith. What I will say as well is, if those of you who are using the world download, which will be available in the description by the way, I am going to be over the next couple of episodes doing a lot of other stuff, tidying up my chests and that, because I have kind of junk everywhere, and I kind of just want to sort it out if possible to make it a little bit more convenient for me when I'm doing tutorials. So we're going to build the brewery, then we're actually going to do the brewing stand stuff, and then from there we will probably do nether quartz, I think. So yeah, until next time guys, see you later and have a good day.